Hey guys, welcome to the 7th episode of Static Timing Analysis. In today's episode, we will discuss about the design constraint file. This is a very important file because here we define the AT and RAT, which we have discussed in episode 1. Constraints are first defined in the synthesis stage, then they are reused in the pre-layout and post-layout SEA. The constraints make a realistic periphery of the ideal netlist. Let me introduce the constraints to you to today's menu. First, we talk about why we write constraints. Then, design constraint file introduction will be there. Frequently used design constraint commands will be introduced to you. We will recall the directed acyclic graph concept, arrival time, input delay, required arrival time, output delay. Everything is in terms of the constraints. Rise or fall slew design constraint. So this is the menu for today. So without any further delay, let's begin. Why we write constraints? Theoretically, I have already explained that the constraints make a realistic boundary to the ideal netlist during the simulation. We do this in bits and pieces. Let me walk you through such cases as an introduction. By default, in your design, the signal arrives at the input port at time equal to 0. In realistic cases, input signals arrive with a delay added to it. We can do such case by set input delay. We give a value here 2.5. Then we mention for which clock, that is dash clock, CLK, and for all inputs. The overall delay will be 2 nanoseconds relative to the system clock. Thus, you can see first your system was very much ideal. Then we have given this command with a particular delay value to the input, and that makes the system perform like a real case. Now, how to control the output delay? Well, we can do that. Let's see how. Assume that your design is driving a flip-flop. We want to add an output delay on the output pins of 1.5 nanosecond relative to the system clock. So how we do it? We can do such by the command set output delay, and we mention the value 1.5, and we mention for which clock, that is CLK, and for all outputs. So this is how we can define the delay that is for input and as well as for the output. The purpose of this slide is just to touch base the basic concept of constraints and how the constraints transform an ideal case to a realistic case. I think that is being imprinted into your mind with this particular slide. So let's move on. Design constraint file. We have understood what is constraint and what purpose it is used for through small examples in last slide. In this slide, let me give you a compact introduction to the design constraint file. So here we go. Design constraint file, also known as SDC files, to impose initial timing conditions on the design. Adding constraint to the design is a process to make your design perform like a realistic situation, which I have been telling for last few minutes. Design constraint file have an .sdc file extension. Design constraint is a tickle based format to specify the design intent and the surrounding constraints for synthesis, clocking, timing, power, test, and area. This is a very important point. All the design constraint commands are nothing but tickle procedures. In the tickle series, I have already explained how the tickle works for VLSI. In case you have not watched that episode, I'll provide the link in the description. So guys, all these tickle commands are custom made tickle procedures, and they are very much intended application so that one particular command will do one thing. If you know tickle, you will be very easily write the tickle constraints based on the definitions that are provided in the manual. So guys, I think in upcoming examples, your mind will be very much clear that these are tickle commands and how we are using them. It can be generated during the synthesis stage using the tickle command. Write SDC, then the path, and then the name of the file .sdc. So this is a very widely used command, and this command is used at the synthesis stage to dump all the constraint into a file. We can write the constraint as well as we can dump the constraint. It all depends upon the tool which you are using. So don't think I'm making a global comment, but generally tools have this capability to read the SDC and write the SDC at synthesis stage, and it may vary from one vendor to another vendor. But just for your knowledge purpose, we are adding a fact that apart from writing it by hand, you can dump it also. Also, one can create the .sdc file manually in a text editor such as gvim, gedit, nano, notepad++. So I don't know which of text editor you are preferring. You can write down in the comment below which text editor you are very much comfortable with. And generally all these text editors nowadays have the highlighting capability. That means if you are using Tickle, they will highlight the Tickle proper names and keywords etc. in a different color and your normal values in a different color. So at least what I can say that you can write the commands manually and give it as an input to the tool, or you can dump it using the command just mentioned above. So I think we are done with this slide. Let's move on. Frequently used commands. Let me share a few design constraint commands that a designer very frequently have to use. You may consider this slide as your handbook. So here is our table. So let me bring my mouse. Set input delay. So this is a timing constraint and it sets the input delay of an input port relative to the clock signal. It's very straightforward in meaning, so I am not going any further explanation. Set output delay. This is also a timing constraint. It sets the output delay of an output port relative to a clock signal. So you have a clock in both the cases, and with these two commands you can set the input delay as well as the output delay. One thing I'd like to mention here, whichever tool you are using, just consult the manual for the rest of the arguments of this command. So that does make a sense, and that is very much needed, because when you are writing this file, those you have to write in a correct way so that whatever your thought process is to implement the constraint, that should be well reflected in the command. Now the third one, create clock. This is also a timing constraint. Creates a clock and defines its waveform in the current design. Set input transition. This is a system interface. Sets a fixed transition time on an input port. So this is basically a transition time, means that the slant, that means the rising or the falling. Set input transition, I think sets the load capacitance value on the output port. Here I think I have done some typo. I'll provide some more corrections in the description. So basically there is another command which is used for the load capacitance value for the output port. So I think the command would be something like that, set output load or something like that. These all commands are kind of frequently used command, and you can take them as for your handbook or something like that. You can write it somewhere in your notebook where all these commands and their arguments, so that you can easily use them whenever you are dealing with your actual design. Let me go to the next slide. Some more commands. So far we have discussed the most frequent commands. Now in this slide I will share some names of the commands which self-explanatory nomenclature. Some of these commands you may connect back with the ACA theories that I have covered in all of the previous episodes so far. So here we go for the list. Set clock, set clock delay, set current design, set false path, set input delay, set IO standard, set multi-cycle path, set output delay, set path delay, set range input delay, set range output delay. So all these names are kind of self-explanatory. You can easily understand and consult the manual whenever needed. The Tickle commands are nothing but Tickle procedures. So in different vendor tool, they can have a little bit difference in their names. Let me describe it to you. Generally the commands are set underscore then do something. If you look at the left side list, these are all like that. But in some other simulator, they can be like this. In some simulator, the commands may start with define, then underscore, then do some. So instead of set, it could be defined. It may vary from one simulator to another simulator, but the purpose remains the same. If you are encountering a different simulator, not only the name, the arguments may have been a bit different. So be careful and consult the manual every time. We are done with this particular slide. So let's move on. Recall the directed acyclic graph. So these are numbers, just don't panic. This slide is to give you a quick recall of the AT-RAT concept. Here goes our diagram, and you can see the numbers and everything has been well fitted inside it. Here goes our definition. Here goes our AT-RAT calculation, which we have discussed in episode 1. In case you have not seen or want to refresh your knowledge, use the chapter facility provided in the episode 1 description to quickly navigate to the respective slide. Link of episode 1 is provided in the description. So let's move on to the next slide. Arrival time, that is input delay. We just pictorially touch based the AT-RAT concept, which was discussed in detail in episode 1. Now let me show you how you can define the arrival time, that is input delay. Here goes our example. create a clock. First thing, create clock, then we specify the period 50, then name my clock, and then we use rectangular bracket as we use in Tcl, get ports my clock. So we get all the ports and onto that we apply the period and everything. This is how we define create clock. Again, I am emphasizing from one simulator to another simulator, this particular command may be a bit different, so don't panic, always consult the manual. Defining input arrival time, that is 80. Set input delay 0 minimum, then rise for the ports get ports my clock. So here we set the rise time delay, clock is my clock, here the delay is 0. Set input delay 25, that is minimum, that is dash fall for falling edges. Get ports my clock, so get all the ports of this clock, and then clock name is my clock. Set input delay 0 max, that is rise, this is for rise transition. Get ports my clock and clock name is my clock. Again, we have set input delay 25 max for fall and get ports all the ports of my clock and the clock name is my clock. So here you can say, let me bring my mouse. You can see that we have first defined the two minimums and then we have defined the maximum of rise and fall, rise and fall. So all these rise and fall transition, we have defined the mean and max, the mean and max transitions. So this is how we create a realistic boundary that I have just spoke in the first slide. So we are done with this particular slide. So let's move on. Required arrival time, that is output delay. In this slide, I will exemplify command to define the required arrival time, that is output delay. Here goes our example. Define the output required arrival time, that is RAT. Set output delay 10, then we use the dash mean for minimum and rise, and then we use the get ports of out and clock name my clock. So here we are getting all the ports with out name and applying the delay of 10 for rise transition. Set output delay 10 minimum, and for fall transitions get ports, we get all the ports here through this command for out, and we set clock as my clock. Now we going for the max ones. Okay, yeah, set output delay 30 max, then for rise transition, and we use the get ports and clock is my clock. Set output delay 30 max, and then for fall transition and get ports for out and clock for my clock. So let me bring my mouse pointer again. If you compare, this remains static, this remains static, only the changes here it is static and here it is static, only changes is here and here. So we have couple of combinations just to declare the minimum and maximum of the delays for rise and fall type. So we have 4 total commands to define the realistic boundary for RAT, that is required arrival time. Here we are done with this particular slide. So let's move on. Rise, fall, slew design constraint. In this slide, we are going to exemplify the rise and fall slew constraints through commands. Here goes our example. Define the input transition time. Set input transition 10, then minimum, then rise, then get ports of input and clock is my clock. Set input transition 15 minimum for fall type transition, get ports for input and then clock my clock. Set input transition 20 max, rise, get ports for input and clock is my clock. And we define the set input transition 25 max, and for fall transition get all the ports input and then clock is my clock. So again, let me bring my mouse pointer. You can see the values are different, each value is different from one another, and here two are mean, these are two static, these are two static, but this is varying, here this is varying. So rise, rise, fall, fall, and here it is static, here it is static. So this is how we are defining the constraint for the input transition time. One more thing here I would like to add. Here we have defined with 1, but for your case you have to write multiple times for multiple cases. So it depends from one design to another design. So guys, we are done with this particular slide. So let's move on. Some more applications. Apart from the timing, we can do something with the design constraints commands. Let me show you how. Set realistic loads on each output pin. Set load 0.15 to all my outputs. This is how we can also add a load value. Set fan in and fan out for the input or output pins of your design. Set max fan out 1 to all of my outputs. So this rectangular bracket is a Tcl concept. Now let us define the corresponding load. set fan out load 8 for all of my outputs. So this way we can use the design constraint. Apart from the timing things, we can define the load, fan out, fan in. You can consult the manual for all these types of other things that you can play around with the constraints. We are done with this slide, so let's move on. Thank you for watching up to this point. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you have any kind of dislikes, put that in words in the comment section, and bye for today.